very exciting. I think it's been one of the most exciting journeys for a character that I've played. Because when push comes to shove, you got to start using your brains and stop thinking about all the cosmetic stuff. Uh, and I found that transition to be very interesting. And a very very instinctive guy suddenly saying, "Wait a second, I got to stop. I got to test my instincts out and rely on my brain more than my muscle because his leg is injured." And it's quite ironic, for a guy
Yes.
so powerful, he just his movement is taken away, his hands have crutches. So that really made me learn a lot, and then I kind of used that in season three.
Thank you, Ali Fazal, for speaking to Gulf News. Firstly, we are very, very psyched about the season three of Mirzapur. What will happen? Do you complete the revenge? There's so many questions in our head. I think this is one of the most riveting series where we are really looking forward to the next season because there's always a cliffhanger, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. We deal in cliffhangers.
A lot of guns and gore.
Yeah, and yeah, just yeah, it is.
It is that. Why do you think is the why do you think Mirzapur really hit it off with the audiences, Ali? And you are the you play a crucial role in it as well. Uh, what's the
I
secret?
think I think it came at a time when our actual janta, was in a very confused state of mind. So, there's a lot of venting as a society that was just being, yeah, there was a void for it. There was just that need for it, and
Yeah,
imagine watching somebody do that for you
that
in our
is true.
day-to-day lives, as of course, uh, मतलब सभी झगड़ रहे हैं, and then you have these characters who just come in like um and they come from those areas, they come from grassroots places, which of course we in metro cities totally forget and totally even don't even sometimes acknowledge. But so ये एक पूरा I felt like it yeah, it just resonated with everybody
It
on a
did.
very carnal level also. Yeah.
Yes, on a very carnal, it made you question, do you enjoy like people like just, choosing guns and violence over like, just sitting down and talking? I love it how you almost derive happiness from killing people. That was my biggest takeaway. Like you loved it. And I was like, somewhere along the way, you guys are all psychopaths,
Uh,
masquerading as civilians, really. But is that the fun bit as well? Playing a character that is so like there's no consequence, right? That's what I feel. All the heroes and villains in this
No, no,
one.
they're no. There's definite consequence. There's, and if you really go deep into it, you'll find that, beneath the gore, beneath the shooting and the violence and the random characters being killed, and the most important one suddenly, surprisingly being killed in your face, and then beneath all of that, there has to be. Otherwise, the stories won't work. It can't just be mindless shooting about.
That
Um,
there is a
Otherwise,
script.
something wouldn't work. Like I think, I thought that season one, I was very, अरे यार इतना violence क्यों दिखा रहे हैं? ये दिखा रहे हैं, वो दिखा रहे हैं. And I saw myself the day I had this conversation at night. I'm asking, यार वो season 8 drop हो गया है, Game of Thrones, man. I'm finally gonna watch it. And I watched it. I literally watched 8 seasons, and I'm like, okay, you know, that didn't hit me as hard as something at home I'm doing, you know. And so I'm trying to
Yeah.
understand how people think. कि वो अपने घर से करे तो नहीं, बाहर का हम देख लेते हैं चलेगा.
No,
um
no, but it's so interesting, Ali, that you say it because people commented on that. They're like, why are people up in arms about Mirzapur, but they don't mind, watching a Guy Ritchie movie where it is like,
yeah,
fingers being severed and heads being chopped.
yeah, in a Guy Ritchie film you have entire monologues about the killing that is about to take place.
Yes.
So I mean, it's again, like I said before, it has to, this responsibility can't just be us. We're not the conscience for an entire society. And there are, I'm assuming, responsible people, I'm assuming, watching television responsibly, I'm assuming. And all these people, I'm assuming, are above 18. you know? Uh,
Yes.
so, we can only assume.
No, no, I love it how this is an adult-friendly show. In fact, the women of Mirzapur earlier in this week called it a very family-friendly show. I'm like, yeah, family who's above 18, please. There has to be a caveat. Regarding your character, in the first season, you were all brawn and your brother was the brain, right? There was a distinct demarcation, and later you evolved. Did you find that fascinating as well? The second season
Yes.
kind of like saw you more as a scheming. You had two gray cells to rub against each other as well. That was a
Yeah.
pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
Was that
yeah. I
exciting
mean,
for you?
very exciting. I think it's been one of the most exciting journeys for a character that I've played. Because when push comes to shove, you got to start using your brains and stop thinking about all the cosmetic stuff. Uh, and I found that transition to be very interesting. And a very very instinctive guy suddenly saying, "Wait a second, I got to stop. I got to test my instincts out and rely on my brain more than my muscle because his leg is injured." And it's quite ironic, for a guy
Yes.
so powerful, he just his movement is taken away. His hands have crutches. So that really made me learn a lot. And then I kind of used that in season three of where it finally drops him, where the manicness trickles in, where the decisions are now being made by proper thoughtfulness behind those, schemes and everything. So yeah,
Yeah,
had
Ali, I
fun.
was revisiting Mirzapur and the scene where you lose out on the the muscle man contest and you break down, right? On stage. I
Yeah.
thought it was a very visceral scene. One of the, I feel people don't talk about it enough. I wish they would,
Yeah.
where you just showed disappointment, anger, rage, etc. Do you have such scenes where you go back to it and said, not bad, I've done a fantastic job? Or do you ever revisit those series and critique it yourself?
I do a bit of both, I think. Yeah. We naturally do it. Where all actors do that, I suppose. We see it, we go back to it. Um, Most of the times it's like, okay, I could have done something different, something better, but I mean, at that point in my life, that is what made sense.
Right.
Um,
Uh,
I just look for the honesty in it, and if it's honest enough, then it works.
no, I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true. I mean, with Mirzapur, what worked are the characters, right? Everybody from
yeah,
Bean
yeah,
Party to Colleen, everybody speaks to you. They are vulnerable, and all of them are very complex. They're kind of
yeah.
evil. They glorify, they're not nice people to love. You are not a nice person to love, but at the end of the day, we kind of give you a long rope. Is that also one of the reasons why the series works? Because none of it is black and white.
No, because
All
I'll tell you, if you remove the violence, right, that last walk where the character in Mirzapur walks to the weapon, picks up the weapon, and uses it, right? If you remove that, it's all of us. It's all our families, literally. And that is what people are connecting to, which just there's a little follow through that doesn't happen in real
a
society.
little, yeah, a bit violent.
A lot, a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm saying at the base of it, the issues are, I mean, the opening scene, of the trailer is the biggest gangster not being able to satisfy his woman
Yeah.
in bed, or just
The son, the prince.
fights,
Yeah, the prince who's not able to
disagreements,
take over. Yeah.
prince who can't, daddy traumas.
Yes.
I mean, not having a mother, again, childhood issues, all childhood issues. Udhar, the other family also same problem. One accepted, one not accepted, one better student, one not. एक लुक्खा निकल गया, एक अच्छा निकल गया, एक बहन है,
Yes.
माँ थोड़ी सटकी है, वो पूरे दिन किचन में रहती हैं। ये सब ये घरों की कहानियां हैं। फिर उसके ऊपर हमने ये दुनिया दिखाई है।
Yeah.
वो दुनिया में हम एक्सेप्टेड नहीं है क्योंकि सडनली सारे सबके वो फैंग्स खड़े हो जाते हैं। एवरीबॉडी इज लाइक, ओ वेट अ सेकंड, हाउ डेयर यू बी सो वायलेंट।
Yes,
सो
yes. You get that a lot. You
यू नो
get that.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's also because of the escalating gun violence around the world as well. Should you glorify it? That debate has been going on for a long time, Ali. I mean, it's not related to
Oh
just
yeah.
Mirzapur. I think any violent movie that comes, it triggers the debate. Should we be glorifying it? I mean, I don't think it's
Yeah.
personal, is
Yeah.
it?
No, no, it's never personal. I'm totally for that. I don't think we should glorify gun violence at all.
Mm,
I mean, that's a long talk. I can go really into it because then it's
of course.
I don't know if visual medium of fictionalized worlds um I suppose should take some responsibility, but should not also be the conscience of an entire generation, entire society at the same time. I
Right,
suppose
right.
really there's a deep-rooted problem with policies and the economics and um, oil trade going
Of
there.
course. Of course. But Ali, I think art should provoke, right? At the end of the day, I think Mirzapur, that's what it did. It was a very provocative series.
It
It
is.
should
It is.
it
It's
should
scary. It's
provoke.
almost scary. Like yeah, it got scary when there were, matlab, the influence of it when it trickles down to, let's say, somebody who's under 18.
Yeah,
That's when it's scary. That's
correct.
when you're like, okay, am I doing this, or is this bad parenting that is responsible for this? It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
We're all, yeah, I don't
Ali,
know.
I have to say, you're also one of the most underutilized actors of Bollywood. I know you get this a lot. I ask you this question, but do you think Mirzapur has, in some way, kind of like corrected that?
No, I mean, I don't know. Mirzapur is one aspect of me. Then there's another aspect to me. Um, I'm very secure when it comes to my career. I'm really in a great space. Um, uh, when you say underutilized, I always imagine that there's a godfather sitting up there who's not played me right. Which I don't believe in. I don't think there is anybody who's controlling my career.
Right.
Um, and that's it. I chose to kind of divide it in two halves. Sometimes my work gets divided. I'm on this side of the world and some here. And that's where I lose out.
Oh, brilliant. And Ali, do you have a cathartic process after you stop filming Mirzapur? How do you get out of the character? Like, do you go for a
Yeah,
long spa holiday? What happens?
no, God, I wish I had the luxury. No, we switch out. We learn. We're actors, so we have to.
Right,
Yeah, it's all fiction. I mean, we're not. Uh, some of the habits stay back, like the sticks, walking, or sometimes the language, the accents. They take a little while to sort of wean off over time,
right.
because you make them habits. But yeah.
What was the most challenging part of season three, if you were to like look back, like if you were without revealing details about perhaps the plot?
I mean, one of the most challenging sequences was the jail sequence we did. It's a fight sequence, but it's mostly hand combat. It's not your guns, and usually Mirzapur has always mostly had a lot to do with guns and explosives and all that. But this is purely old school hand combat, just going nuts. Yeah, inside a jail cell. So that I mean, just I was very fascinated with the choreography of it.
Yes.
Uh, but there are certain scenes I'm very proud of. I think which are very small snippets, maybe when you see the show, but I thought there was a lot that went in. I really hope people can maybe see the spaces in the middle and the nuances there that I think a bunch of us have tried to create. Uh, yeah, apart from
Excellent.
the madness of
Can I
music.
just ask you, like, of all the characters in Mirzapur, we have been asked to wrap up. Which is the character that fascinated you, be it men or women? Like, and you were like, this is one character which I think is something I wouldn't mind doing, perhaps, or just like admiring it from a distance, saying this is a good character to play. Do you have any and why?
Beena Tripathi's character. I
She's
find that
lovely.
Rasika's, yeah, it's a very, I don't think I would want to play that, but like you said, just I really admire that entire journey, and of course, what Rasika has done with it and where she's brought it, because it's, yeah.
She's vulnerable. She's vulnerable and strong and very wicked. It's a tough combination to uh, match as well. Thank you so much. Would you be reading the reviews as well, Ali, before I let you go, or are you not going to? Are you going to be
So,
review proof? Mirzapur is review proof. It doesn't matter who says
no,
what.
yeah, with Mirzapur, it's kind of it'll still have all the people watching, but we come from a place we watch reviews, good or bad. We got horrible reviews season one. I remember we got trash, but it's okay. That's not to
You
say we
rose like the
disrespect
phoenix.
reviews.
You guys are like, yeah. After every bad season, we are like, we are back. At season 3, it is. Brilliant. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for entertaining us. I can't tell you, it's been fun watching it. It's highly entertaining a show. Thank you.